that song in front of Parliament, the Parliament buildings in Ottawa, June 2020, and 3 very black cop cars converged, and one of them got out. And before he had a chance to say anything, I said, "Hi, I'm gonna sing some songs for you. Is that okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's okay." So then I said, "Do you want to watch?" And he's like, "No, I'm busy." So he sits in his car, and all 3 of these cars are very intimidating, and they're sitting there with their windows down listening to me. And of course, as soon as I realized I'm singing "Government, You're Going Down," I'm like, "Oh, I can't sing that." So I changed the lyrics on the fly to "We Need Change." This song is called "Song for the Wise." Medicine man cleans the wounds of the world. And Mother Nature sings with all her heart, with all her heart. She speaks of magic, it's your all day, creating the signs, showing the way. She speaks of magic, it's your all day, creating the signs, showing the way. She speaks of magic, we see her all day, creating the signs, showing the way. She speaks of magic, we see her all day, creating the signs, showing the way. Medicine woman feels the chant rising in the throat. From the heart, from the heart. Thank you. We're cleaning the wounds of the world here. I want to thank Claudia and Adrien Thomas for coming all the way from Edmonton. That's amazing. Let's give them a big hand. We're all excited to see them.
Thank you.
Woo! And your band, the Electric Comets, they rock. Give them a big hand. Woo! This next song I thought was going to be suited to this event. Superhuman Revolution. These are all online if you want to talk to me later. Last song for you. Thank you so much. This song is called You Tell Me. Again, wrote it 2001. Around the same time I wrote House on a Hill, with some attitude towards the current programming. You tell me what I should be partaking. You tell me I should still be faking. You tell me it ain't a 4x4. In front of things like yours, I slam the door. Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, open wide your ears. Yeah, 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 well let's sit down with what you hear. Alright. You tell me how I should live my life. You tell me I make a lovely wife. You tell me to trust government. I hate to tell you, man, but the days are spent. Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, open wide your ears. Yeah, 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 well let's check out with what you hear. Access, free energy. Access, free energy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And how that feels, you tell me. You tell me how to drive my car, but I never seen you get that far. If you tell me how to breathe and how much shorter, start to see, oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, open wide your ears. Yeah, 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 well that's not always what you hear. Access, free energy. Access, free energy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And how that feels, you tell me. Thank you, Weir Shannon Matter. I like your comments. Thank you, Claudia. Thank you, Adrien.
Claudia, let's party! Sorry. Claudia, hiya. Where's your 74? Where's your 74? Hurry up, pick it out. I know where it is.
That's my dream.
Did you move to Edmonton?
No, well, it's supposed to.
Oh, I visit Edmonton.
You see me every day.
Put me here from. Oh, storm's coming. Woo, I hope it will.
For like 45 minutes. We got 45 minutes.
You better rock
It's not
and
gonna
roll.
hit us.
You better rock and roll hard. Okay.
I love you more than I can say.
You're staying home tomorrow, haha. Ooh, I smell marijuana again. Marijuana again. Still.
All these bloomers over here smoking.
All right, you're gonna go on stage.
What's going on, Matt?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Yeah, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be going on live pretty soon here.
Okay. Oh, that's nice. You see, brother, when you put your heart into it, what you can do, I always told you, you're my favorite one in all of them. You know why? You don't quit. You don't give up. You're still there. You're not getting paid. You're there with the right reason, and look at you. So proud of you, Adrien. Don't keep it
There you
up,
go,
okay?
Matt.
Keep
Yeah,
what you're doing. Keep it up.
we're gonna go on live here, so I'll be on a live here for a bit. You
Okay.
might as well just keep yours on as well too.
Yeah, I can co-host while you're live. So again, thank you for everything you're doing. Thank you to save Mother Earth. Thank you to save the next 7 generations down the road. Thank you to have teach me the right value of the people of the land, but not only this, of us, the real people that has heart and feelings. And guess what? This is how we're gonna get out of this. By doing these effort, by doing what you're
Yeah,
doing. Don't quit,
there
man.
we go.
Don't quit. Thank you so much, Adrien.
Yeah, well, you might as well keep on the live. So we got another live here. We probably have
Yeah.
one in least as well too.
Okay,
Saskatchewan.
share this as much as possible. I'll go here. We can go there. We can go here, here. I'll try. Oh yes, this. Oh, this is gonna be good.
You are the man, bud.
This. Let's bring in some people. Let's see where they are. Let's see what they're doing. Well, let's start there.
There's also Nikki. She's back.
Yeah. Let's make them all see what we're all about.
Oh, you're almost good, she said.
Here we go.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
I'll share it everywhere I can. Fuck off. We're gonna make people come in as much as possible. I think I didn't miss one. I hope I didn't miss one, but here we
Okay, I'm
go.
gonna put this on live, and you might as well keep this phone on, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Right.
just hold on.
Let's go see what it's all about, right? They wanna do something, Bombay. Let's go.
Okay, so I just kind of pointed at you.
Yeah, I just pointed at you.
Yeah, that can come right on.
Good day, good day, good day.
If it's not
Hopefully you
too
guys
bad.
can hear me. You want me to get another speaker? Because I got another
Sure, if you
speaker.
have another speaker, that one's. Oh,
Yeah,
shit,
I
that one-
got more speakers. Just hold on. I'm going to make this a little bit louder so
Okay.
everybody can hear. Just one.
Okay. Let me clip on there so it doesn't fall.
Got some more. I usually bring my own people.
Oh, okay, okay. That's awesome.
You need that stand, okay. Well, okay, forgot a speaker. I think you don't need more than that for these people that are there, but it's okay. Okay, so where are the people? That's the thing I'm wondering.
I know, that's what my question is. Where are the people?
People, we need to understand it's crucial what's happening right now. People, it's crucial. We need way more people than this. I know you all have heart. All the people that are there are all people that cares for the land, cares for the next generation, cares for this country. My God, thank you. At least you're there. At least you guys are there. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you
Well,
so
we have
much.
to wake them up somehow.
Man, listen, it starts little and it grows, okay? We won't win this thing in a day, okay? It's gonna be a thing that we're gonna win in, I would say, with time. But right now, it's crucial that we all do what we're doing right now. You're doing a good job. You're doing what you need to do as real Canadians. Okay?
Thank you.
This is what we need to do.
I don't know if you know Matt Benny.
No, I don't.
He's from Quebec. He's a part of
Okay.
the team that's over there.
Okay.
So it's pretty good.
You see, it starts by little, but we're gonna grow.
I hope so, because we're tired of sleeping.
Yeah,
We're
gonna
there's a lot of
come.
us
We're
leave.
gonna battle this, guys. We're gonna make it good. We're gonna be peaceful, honorable, respectful, but they will be accountable for what they're doing. And guess what? Your land to the First Nation will go back to you, people of the land. You will have to say your word on what's happening in this land. The farmers, the people of the land, the system we're living in, we will uncorrupt this. Oh, I can't wait for you to be honored to live here. The past 500 years has been so rough, so hard. Never again will we ever treat our First Nation this way. Never again. We will respect each other. We will go down this river one beside the other, but we will achieve our goal. Thank you so much, people. Thank you so much. Look, people are still standing up.
Yeah, we're limited chairs.
No matter what, people pass the word. Look at this. Look
Yes.
at this. We still have some good, honorable, respectful Canadian. These people are there. It's good. We need more. People, it's your country. It's your land. Think about this. It's not Trudeau, it's the 338 ministers in place that are accountable for what they did. They were all aware of the situation. They were all aware of the side effect. They all need to be removed because it's all a crime against humanity. It's all treason on their population. Second, the First Nation has treaties, and these thing needs to be respected, but this doesn't belong to me. I cannot do anything about it. It belongs to them, and that's why they're there. That's why Adrien stand up. That's why a lot of First Nation finally stand up, because it's your right, your land, and your duty to defend this.
That's right.
I didn't want to plan
To buy honey or eggs or whatever, candles, and you could.
We both have our job to do, okay, guys? You guys have your job to do with the land, and we have the job to do with accountability for treason and crime against humanity, what they brought on us. I'm sorry to say, but that's the way it is.
So letting you guys know. I went to a couple
We
of
will.
events and I had to basically scream.
Louder, Adrien.
Maybe know what I have
Says
to do.
louder.
Yeah.
Is that,
Hold on. Might as well test this out because it's supposed to be 2,300 watts, and I thought that should be enough. There you go.
Okay.
Okay, my name is Adrien. I come from Treaty 6 Nation. I'm a Cree descendant of Big Bear. I don't know if you guys know anything about Big Bear, but he's the only guy that wanted to basically, there you go. He wanted to basically question the treaty and the aspect of things. And the reason why I'm here is because of that sign right here. It says, no to the 15-minute district, the White Man Reservation. We talk about undrip and undrop, and I don't really know if anybody really understands the implications that's coming down the way in regards to the farmers, private land ownership, all the way down the line. And what we want to say is UNDRIP basically gives back in such a way power to the Native Americans, and UNDROP takes away power to the Caucasian farmer. And that's what we wanted to say. And we don't want you guys to go through what we went through. There's a big disdain in Canada And I wouldn't do justice if I didn't talk about that, because it's not your fault. I'm gonna let you guys know that. It's not you guys' fault, it's just the way, manipulation happens. At one time I was a wagon burner, a savage Indian. That's how it was, and that's the truth. And when you're looking at politics down the line, this is the kind of stuff that they use. They use this kind of manipulation, they teach it in your schools. And at the end of the day, you sit back and you say, hey, look at those Indians. Why are they complaining again? You see, I have myself a beautiful Caucasian girlfriend. We had a lot of discussions. We had a lot of conversation, arguments, and everything like that. And she said, it's not about racism, it's about trying to understand all the things that happened in her lifetime, where she said, I did not know this. And same thing that happened with a lot of, people that I talk to a lot of times too, when I started opening my discussion in regards to where I came from. About a little bit about where I came from. You see, I was born in Saskatoon, and I started living with my grandfather. My father himself was a drunkard, and my mother was basically into a lot of addictions. And because of that, I have never done no drugs in my life. And that's one of the reasons why. Although I do have an occasional beer, especially after the Oilers lost. But like I said, it comes as no surprise as to where I came from. You see, I grew up in a Big River reservation. That's they call it the Whitefish Reservation, right? So I grew up there, and my grandfather, he was a Christian man, but at the same time too, he believed in natural law, and he believed in the Creator. He says he does not believe in the Bible as much as a lot of people do, but he believes in the spirit of people. Ignorance plays a lot in regards to a lot of things, and you've always been straightforward in regards to, natural law, quantum physics, mind, body, and spirit. These are the kind of things that he used to teach me. And I know a lot of people probably saw me on TikTok, and a lot of people looked at me and said, who is this guy?
Share this life. Share.
Basic Native American principles in regards to symbols. This is the reason why I'm here today. Everything, no matter what, is connected. Everything. Emotions are connected to politics. Politics is connected to corporations. Corporations are connected to resources. Now look at the land that you guys are stepping on right now. You see, I was, and I'll say it, and at one time I was ashamed because I thought they were going to use it against me. But in 2008, I think it was October or November, I made this group called MMIW, 2008, right? And it wasn't because I wanted to make something up there or whatever it was. It's because I already had 23 other pages. Whether it was comedy, res fights, I called it, all kinds of weird crap. But the reason why I made it was because I grew up in Saskatoon. I went to school there. I became a clothing designer. I went through photography. I went through all these things. In 1998, the cops stopped me walking down the street, going towards my school. And they said to me, what are you doing in that neighborhood? It was kind of a bigger, high-class neighborhood. And I don't know if you guys remember, but in 2008, they called these things, it was called, when they picked up the Native Americans and they'll drop them out of town. What is that called again? But they would take off your shoes, the cops would. And then it would make you walk back, to Saskatoon. 3 or 4 Native Americans died at that.
Share. Like,
That's what
and
happened
share.
to me. I didn't get stopped or didn't get taken away. They just asked if I was drinking and everything like that. That is the spark of a question that people needed to answer. And this is the thing that we need to do. We need to bridge these gaps, the most uncomfortable discussions down the line. And where does that come from? Sure, it comes from ignorance, but also it comes from the educational standards of Canada, United States, the BIA, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, the CIA, I like to say, the Canadian Indian Affairs. They teach you that at school. At 8:45 every morning when I was a kid, I had to pledge allegiance to the Queen, you know? And if I didn't, I get strapped. Up until 1990, I got strapped for even speaking my language. 1996, the last residential school shut down. 1990, we finally got, you know, our school system given to our people. Those are small victories, but still that does not erase the past. And they don't teach you things in school systems, or they don't teach you things, or they don't show you things on the media, especially the House of Commons, when it comes down to the Indian Act. The reason why I bring that out here, the Indian Act, is because we're the only people in the modern world that have to hold blood quantum. The only people. But at the same time, too, why don't anybody else have a white man act or an Indian act or a black man act or a yellow man act? It is racism.
Close your mic if you're gonna join the live.
The
Just
reason
close
why
your
I
mic
say
while
these
you
things
talk
is
so
not
we don't have
because I want
interference.
to penalize anything, but I want you guys to know that it's not your fault. It is not your fault at all. It is the way they've taken out this country. It is just the way it happened. 1886.
People like, and share the live.
And everything that came through. When they signed the Indian Act, what did they do? First thing that they did. They said, Canada is here. When they bring Canada here, and then at the same time they said, Europeans come. We got a free land for you. 5 years. What you have to do is come over here, stake your land, and you have to develop it in 5 years. Question that. It was free.
Because they disagree.
Because they wanted to make certain that they destroyed the Native American spirit and their people from the land. The treaties were about unity. The treaties were about love and understanding. We didn't know anything about money. The planes were riddled with $5 bills when we signed. $5 bills because we didn't know what to do with that money. You see? A 60-40 split came to Canada. That means 60% goes to the Pilgrims, 40% go to the Native Americans, and then the Indian Act came. Like I said, the residential school is not your issue. Never was. That was instilled by a system that broke in your guys' customs and cultures. Your guys' belief. You guys used to have your own native tongue. You guys were Native Europeans at one time, just like we're Native Americans. And this is the question I wanted to ask you guys. What happened to your guys' land? Because now, in Europe, you don't own land. But at one time, when you guys were tribes, just like us, you guys had your own customs, just like us. You guys had your own sweats, your own sweetgrass. All these things, your religion. I'm not trying to knock down Yahshua or anything like that, but I'm trying to bring down to the core value of where we're at. And why this is so important is because there's absolutely nothing you guys can do right now. Nothing. You guys can change the system if you guys want. But the way I look at it is just like if you guys play Monopoly, they have those houses, those hotels, those lots. But you guys can't change the rules. Even if you guys wanted to, you guys can't. So you guys are the machine that goes around that board as long as it works for them. As long as it works for them. But you guys have to also remember that the board belongs to natural law, not them. This is why I've always said with the chief and council systems, and I'll get to that right away, and I want to explain the Indian Act. The Indian Act, it made residential schools. It wasn't the churches, they were used. The churches were used. It was by the crown. Just like what they did to your land 1,000 years ago. You guys used to be Germanians or whatnot. You guys used to have your own tribes. You guys used to have those things until something happened and they've taken it away. I'm not against this system at all. I'm going to let you guys know that. I'm not. But I'd rather bring it down to the core values so that way at least we have a starting point to understand what's actually going on here. If you guys had your own. I don't know if you guys ever watched this movie. It was called Braveheart by this guy named William Wallace. I don't know if you guys remember that. Mm-hmm. He wants freedom. Exactly. So the point is, he wanted freedom for his people. He fought the king and everything like that. And so what the king said is this: if we can't take them out of their land, we'll breed it out of them. And that was in Ireland and Scotland. So what did they do? William Wallace's wife, before even been with her, or the story goes, with a lot of English people, or not English, but Scottish and everything like that. The English dukes had the first time with their wives. Why that's so significant is because they wanted to dilute the blood of that land with that treaty that they had. And now Scotland doesn't even own its own country. They're from the country, but do they own that country? They have to pay taxes. So therefore, if it's your country, why do you pay taxes for the country? I'm not against the taxes neither. I'm just saying it comes down to the bare hard understanding.
That's why the rich we got richer and the poor we got poor.
So that's where it starts. Ireland was the same way too. Now you come to over here, before you take over a country, what do? You destroy a culture, you destroy a language, you destroy the umbilical cord to your children. And then you make certain that the education goes to those children, whatever they put on those children. So that is the understanding. The chief and council system is not our system at all. It never was. We had grand chiefs, but chief is a European word. It's a European word. It was grand elders. We had hereditary systems that had clan mothers. And we always respected our clan mothers because those women were the ones that birthed us and made us into warriors. And they made us understand the truest understanding of your society. It's funny now, after about 100 years, 100 and some years, that we don't even know where our elders, or not our elders, but our neighbors really. This would have been a nice, good tribe here if we all knew each other. We go down to the guy that does the hides. We go over here and knows, all these things. But it's not like that no more. It's not, because the bureaucracy of this society turns we into I. And that's the dollar. So I'm breaking it down to a molecular structure so that way people can understand. Because at the very end of all of this, you guys will understand where and what we are talking about when it comes to the Cree Nation and the Treaty 6 territory. We already knew that the East Coast was broken because that's where colonization came from, on that side all the way to the west. We had wars with Tecumseh, United States, and before Canada became Canada, we gave, Canada backstabbed Tecumseh because they couldn't take the territory for themselves. That's politics. They're not humanists, they never were. So why I bring these up here is because there's a reason why. And whenever you see those protests with those Native Americans, I was at those protests and I saw, and I was on
People,
both sides of the
please
spectrum.
like, and share, share.
Why are these Indians arguing again? Why are they after this? Why don't they just go to work? It was a beautiful system at one time, not for Native Americans, but for a lot of people, because the taxes and everything, you never had a crazy freaking bastard that wanted to take over the country and give it the World Economic Forum. You know, it was like that. You had something that actually, you know, you could grow on. But at the very end, what's happening now? You have a country that's getting ripped apart by a World Economic Forum, United Nations, and all international entities across this land, and we all can feel it. We can see what's happening with the immigration. There's over 6 million that came over for the last 5 years. And we have 98,000 Chinese troops in Canada, and they're not allowed to, carry weapons, but they're allowed to work with the veterans. But here's the funny thing: they can go anywhere they want on that basis. Because I know a lot of veterans. My girlfriend actually works at the veteran farmer, so we sit and talk, and we look into, Scott, whatever the guy's name, and made a book, and we listen. What's really going on internationally? So that's just a synopsis of somewhere down the line here. So the Indian Act, it created reservations. We couldn't choose our reservations. On the contrary, a lot of people think that Native Americans chose the reservations. It's not true. Never was. They just wanted to make certain every single town, major town in Canada, they used to be forts. I don't know if you guys know that, but they used to be forts. So what they would do is they would surround the Native Americans. We signed those treaties. And in every textbook, if you guys notice that, there's all these villages right around, but there's a fort right in the middle, and the Native Americans are right inside of that. I don't know if you guys noticed that. The reason why they needed to do that is to segregate the spirit of the Native Americans from the land. Because we don't look at it in a monetary system from the Cree. We don't. We don't own this land. You don't own life. Just like the GMOs, how the hell can these bastards own life? They use that as a bureaucracy. So we don't own life. We don't own land. We have territories. We understand that. And at the end of the day, they put us in an area, the shittiest place that they could ever do. And when I said the Land Claim Act, the 5-year system, they bring as many people as they can over here, so that way they can put all this, this technology or these villages everywhere, just in case the Indians come. Guess what happens? Then we're the threat. Because like I said, we were wagon burners. And why I say these things is because this is very important. I'm not trying to, scorn anybody, but this is important. Because now, at the very end of everything, you guys are white people, and your guys' tongues got chopped off. If you say anything to the Native Americans or the black people, guess what? You lose your businesses. The same thing that happened to us is now happening to you guys. Think about that. This is politics. This is what they use. They are not humanists. They never were humanists. They know what they're doing because they've been doing this for thousands of years. They've been doing this for thousands of years, and you guys do not have a home base anymore. But here, we always say one thing. We are open. We don't mind immigration, but there has to be real policies in regards to the monetized system. The monetized system. Why do we have to pay for anybody else when we can't even take care of the drug epidemic or the homelessness? You see, this prime minister spent more billions of dollars than all prime ministers combined. There's something to be said about that. So let's go back from the Indian Act to the reservation system, and a lot of people look at the chief and council systems. Why ain't they doing their jobs?
Exactly.
People don't get it. People do not get how oppression works in a reservation. We are not allowed, underneath the Indian Act, to have viable big businesses work on our reservation. We're not allowed. When you're a farmer on a reservation, you only have so much yield. And if you have too much yield, you might as well throw it away because you're not allowed to sell that much. It's created poverty. So, let's say for this, if we had sovereign nations like they say, why can't we have Dodge, Chev, I don't know, Intel on our reservations with factories? Why can't we? Think about that. Because it's illegal underneath the Indian Act. Illegal. Then you look at the chief and council systems, you have $19 billion a year, and then you have this governmental business, this building called, INAC, Indian Affairs, Northern Affairs Canada, where they take 30% for $19 billion, 30% of that for administration costs. That's an offshore bank account. They've been using us from day one, and they use racism to take as much land and resources as they can. You see, we were not allowed off the reservations till 1951. 1951, that's 3 years after or how many years after the World War II? We're not allowed. We're not allowed to do these things. Till 1978, we're not allowed to, our sweats, our ceremonies. 1979 here in Canada. Until 1990, we're not allowed in the public school system to start speaking our Native American tongue. Let that sink in, because this is what they're doing to your kids now. You cannot say anything out of freedom. They're holding you back. You cannot say nothing against that policy or the government. Now they're going to call you terrorists. You see? You see, everything comes full circle. And now, apparently, it's the Native Americans' turn to beat down the white man. It is. And I say it's not funny at all, because many farmers don't even understand that there's 27 land stewardship acts on your land right now, and everything screams climate change, environmental policies, and inside of that says the Métis Settlement Act, which means that all water, because in the treaty, I'm going to let you guys know something, it's a little secret. We never gave up our rights to the water, and this is why they always have to, federal, the provincial, and municipalities have to come to the Native Americans to talk about land and water.
People share, comment.
And now,
That's the best way you can help this guy.
They're going to use our rights against you. So what does that mean as a farmer? If you don't do something right now, you might as well sell your land as fast as you guys can, because it's going to depreciate. Why I say these things is because not just for scare taxes, it's because it's the facts. The Native Americans, we already knew this 10 years ago. I was briefed. FSIN, AFN chiefs are briefed in regards to what was going to happen. We're going to have our time now, because racism works. Racism works. And if the Native Americans have it, there's not a goddamn thing you can do. This is why I tell the Native Americans, shut the F up. Do you want what happened to us to happen to them? No. How do you stop racism? We have to talk about issues that nobody wants to talk about. Even if it hurts us, it hurts me, it hurts you. But these are the core values of Canada that was built on the bones of millions of Native Americans. These are the core values. If you want to save Canada, you're going to have to go back to the past. Because racism works if it doesn't. I didn't come here to give scare tactics. I come here to tell you, we need to come together. We both have a boogeyman that has been playing us from day one. You see, the way I look at it is like I've always said, it's like a casino. You have Native Americans on one side, and then you have cowboys on the other side, and they play blackjack all freaking day. Guess what happens? One loses, but guarantee the house always wins. That is the government. They'll twist that narrative of how they play that game. How many blackjack different kind of games are there now because it just fits their narrative? It doesn't matter where. The same thing happens here. So that's why I say we always have to come together in the truest understanding, whether we like to or not. Like I said, a lot of my Native American friends, they still have racism in their heart, but I try to do the best I can, and they understand. A lot of my white counterparts, they still have racism in their hearts because it's ignorance. Racism ain't nothing but ignorance. That's all it is. Nobody is born hating people. It's the media. It's the other people. It's the differences of culture because we're not allowing ourselves to come together, and it's not your fault because we were put in our reservation. You weren't. We were separated. You didn't understand us, and we didn't understand you. That's just how it is. You know, when we had that, there's a lot of incidents, whether it's Oak Crisis, you name it down the line, whether it's Mr. Stanley up in Saskatchewan, he shot that kid. It creates more. And then when it came down to the 215 up in BC, when it came through all the way over here, 215 kids. 2 months later, guess what that bastard did? He had a flash election because emotions work. Racism works. That's pretty sad, actually. Real reconciliation starts here. It's not at the federal government. Never will happen over there because they use that emotion to take over my Native American nation. When Justin Trudeau came to power, before he came to power, there was a prime minister named Stephen Harper, and he imposed the, what is that act called again? Transparency Act. And this had a lot to do with a plan from a little-known chief named Teresa Spence. I don't know if you guys remember her. Teresa Spence was that girl that stayed in Ottawa and did this hunger strike. If you guys remember that. She stayed there, and for some freaking reason, she got 10 pounds heavier. Don't ask me. It is what it is. She got 10 pounds heavier when she's supposed to stay off of food. But she had meetings with the Liberal government, the federal government, and all these other people. Some of my nation went over there. They snuck in food and everything like that. But because of that, that sparked the Transparency Act, which bring almost 60% of all reservations in the red. So now all the chief of councils are shitting themselves because they're crooked. Canada loved it. The white populace loved it. We're taxpayers. We're taxpayers. And where did that money go from? Because these natives should have been out of here a long time ago, they said. But the truth is, people don't understand that when it comes down to the resource management sharing of the 60-40 split, that their taxes never paid for the Native Americans. But wouldn't you think that they used us as a pawn? Think about that. Because that's politics. They're not humanists. So 60% of them are in the red. Justin Trudeau came in. Stephen Harper, before he left, he said, the Transparency Act is here. And now you guys are gonna follow the rule or you guys are gonna go to jail. Everybody was shitting themselves. Justin Trudeau came in and said, I'll get rid of that Transparency Act. Why do you think that all these reservations jumped on those buses with all those people and took them to the nearest voting station? Because they got paid to do so. You see? Their tactics over here, and then we'll get rid of that Transparency Act. So you guys are all good. You guys are all good. They used the Native Americans again for that vote. You see, like I said, I started Murder Missing Indigenous Women in 2008. It was a small group. Then about 2012, when Idle No More was going pretty high, I don't know if you guys remember Idle No More. Freaking Indians idled. It is what it is. I'm not trying to be a comedian here. But what happened was, they went to Edmonton. I made this page. There were 6 pages to begin with. So 2013, since I'm already divorced anyways, I might as well tell you my dirty secrets because I'd rather be a realist. I was in relationship with 2 girls in that page. 2 girls and I had a wife. So I'm an adulterous bastard, by the way. And then after a while, what happened was some politics came our way. You want this page to be big? You want it to be beautiful? You want it to have meaning? I'll tell you how you have meaning. This Murder Missing Indigenous page that you are growing really fast, blame the white people only. You see how that works? Blame the white people only. It didn't sit well with me. I'll tell you why. It's because 64 to 68% of all those murdered and missing Indigenous women died at the hands of their own people. It's sad to say that. They did. If we want to talk real truth, we got to talk real truth. Whether we like it or not, we just have to.
What about painting? What about the house?
I'm not against that. I understand that. But there's a lot to do with a lot of stuff. But I'm going to say something that nobody likes to say because I was there. I was the one that made these things. When it came down to that, it had a lot to do with poverty on the reservation. It had a lot to do with the system that the Canadian government gave us. We left the reservations. We got thrown in the residential schools. And from that point on, we're screwed up. We lost our elders. It was designed. It was designed. The Indian Act made the chief and council systems. We have 3-year, 4-year systems. That's not us. We had hereditary chief and council. So what it means is a good chief, a bad chief, a corrupt chief, an idiot chief, a good chief. Give that 50 years, guess what happens to the reservation? You see poverty and you see abuse because there's no proper leadership. And at the same time, too, there's no Transparency Act or nothing in the contrary to laws, municipal laws, but we're not municipalities, but municipal laws are laws that we can actually follow. And there's corruption. They gave us the keys to kill ourselves, and then what happens is those women, we are the highest sexually abused for a 2.3 population in Canada. Highest sexually abused, and we talk about the Pizzagate scandal. That's one. We have the highest suicide rate for Native Americans for one of the smallest population in Canada. That's 2. The biggest gang systems across Canada. That's 3. Native American women in those penitentiaries. At one time it was almost 50% for Native American women, 43% for Native American men. There's racism involved. It was designed. So you see these things. The day that child got touched when she was a kid, the day they should have put a red dress on. That's what I said. We need to talk truth. It's not the white people, it's the fucking government. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Sorry to swear, but that's where it came from. It came from there. And then you have all the Disneys talking about Native Americans. You have all these things. You got media down the line talking about Native Americans, how savage we are. You know, that we're genetic. Well, we have alcoholism and everything like that. But that's depression. That's oppression. Just shut it off. So those are the things that happen. Now that's just our story. Now let's go back to why they did this. They did this primarily because we had a 60-40 split. There's 11 treaties across this land, from Treaty 1 to 11. 95% of BC right here is unceded territory. Unceded territory. Which means they never ceded over to the king or the queen or anything. And why they need to come to Canada, United Nations, the way I see it, is for the resources, but they cannot come to Canada unless we cede over our treaty rights. And I wanted to say something. All of you guys are treaty just as we are, because it takes 2 nations to make a treaty. 2 nations. So you guys are all treaty.
No, we're not. Only 1 reserve out of 4 is.
There you go. What I'm trying to say is when we made the treaties itself, it was about unity. So what does that mean when it comes down the line?
Unity is everything.
Yeah, so what it means is that when you come down over here, especially this area, what do they want when you look at the United Nations? Think about it. What happened in the Middle East? They're fighting over oil. They're not fighting over Israel or Palestine. They're only fighting for oil. And what they realize is that the greenback, they're going to change their oil from the greenback to ruble pretty soon, or something other, right? So what does that mean? It means that the federal government itself, not the government, but the Federal Reserve itself, has to have a different plot, because everything, if they change the greenback to ruble, United Nations starts to crash financially. Didn't you guys realize, or did you guys look at the media when they're making these new water engines? I don't know if you guys noticed that, but they're making new water engines right now. Tesla is making some as well too. 2008, they also said this, that water is the next commodity. You guys have to start banking on it. You guys spend $1.50 to $2 just for a bottle of water. That's more money than gas when you think about it. When you think about it. You guys spend more when you guys drink. Water is life. That's what it is. So what happened was 2015. I don't know if you guys heard about North Dakota Access Pipeline. No DAPL, it's called. So they had a pipeline coming across North Dakota. And the chief Archibald stopped it. He says, nope, it's not going to come through here. It's not going to come through here at all. Until he sold out for $2 million. Your fight is with, the government now, not with us. That's what he said. The same year, that pipeline was going through BC here. That pipeline had to get to the Cove. We needed independence in Canada. Environmentalists went to the reservation that they were going through and said, we will help you, it's wrong. Okay, the Native Americans stopped it. Then the pipeline went 100 kilometers and went straight to the coast. The Native Americans now say, guess who stopped that pipeline from coming through our reservation? They were paid by George Soros, those environmentalists. They were paid by George Soros. And as soon as that pipeline went to the coast, they made that whole cove into a bear sanctuary, which means no pipeline can go through there, right? The same year, Justin Trudeau got in and he bought $4 billion on that pipeline and he killed it. The same year, guess what happened? Fort McMurray went on fire. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
Why is that think about it. In order to take out Canada, you have to destroy its financial back. These are war tactics. As soon as that happened, all of Alberta started going crazy. These heroes started rising everywhere. Everybody, Pat King and everybody started coming right together. We're gonna freaking do something about this, they said. You know, oh boy, I better before I break my leg here. For life. So they started bringing all these people. And then some people from the Maverick Party came through. And they came over and they started this thing called the Yellow Vest Movement and Wexit. I don't know if you guys remember Wexit, the Yellow Vest Movement.
Yeah.
But that came from a guy named Peter Downey and Tamara Lich, liberals. Think about that. So from that point on, it started gaining traction. You guys got to realize that politics ain't nothing but political theater. They needed to destroy, because a lot of things we don't have, we're all ignorant. You guys were ignorant about actually what happens in a reservation. So isn't it fair to say that we're ignorant about what actually happens in politics? What do you think about it?
I don't know what happened.
Verified to continue. Well, that means I'm only already violating this account. There you go, you're verified.
Okay.
So why I say these things is because in 2018, that's when the trucker convoy started. It was small, fringe minority. But the thing is, you guys also have to realize is that the trucker convoy didn't happen by the truckers. It never came from the truckers. It came from indigenous people. Indigenous. Why I say that is because it came from, in 2017, there was a meeting between the MNO, Métis Nations of Ontario, and Justin Trudeau, 2017. How do you think they're going to take this land? But remember I told you 10 years from now, from back then, they're going to take the land from the white people. The largest, the farmers, the largest privatized owners, land ownership. Think about that. So, this was made by the MNO, Asma Nations, and you're going to hear a lot of talk about fake clan mother systems. They say they're Métis. I'm not against Métis, I'm going to let you guys know, but Métis came from the Cree. Métis came from the Cree. It does not exist anywhere else. Whatever the government tells you is a effing lie. Sorry, I was going to swear there, but an effing lie. The Métis, Mati, means a block of wood. Mati. It means that they're half-bred, but it doesn't mean that. It means they're from the land, but the roots got chopped off so they can't speak for the land. That's what it means. They only come from the Cree. They made their own nation. From the Red River, Saskatchewan, that area, Batoche area. That's the only. So if you ever hear anybody that calls themselves Algonquin and white, and they say Métis, that's bullshit. If you ever hear anybody who says that they're Inuit and half white, that's bullshit. They call themselves Métis. They're a self-identifying now. Identity politics. Because they want to use our blood just the same way that they used Christopher Wallace or whatever his name is on Braveheart to take over that land. It's deep politics when you think about it. They don't have no moralities. They already know what's going on. They already knew. Why I bring this up here is because my grandfather always say the people that are going to take out this land is not the white people. They're going to use your blood in the Métis. That's why we told Jim St. Clair in 1978 to 1982, do not speak about the treaty. Do not speak about the treaty because you're not treaty. You have a right to go hunt. You have a right to go do these things because you have your blood, you have your own customs and culture. But we already know that the liberalized people and people that do not have value to this land, they will use that blood to get in for politics. And now, the 27 Land Stewardship Act, it says Métis Settlement Act. Think about that. And there's not a damn thing no white person can say, a farmer can say, because racism works. You see? So why I come here today is because there's a one way, and that is complete unity. We walk out of that casino. Who told us to be a part of that casino? We already knew the black gray cloud was coming on this land. The gray cloud that has so much power that they will manipulate the populace, racism, and all these things, and they don't want unity because unity and love actually destroys evil. That's what they use. So, I know I'm supposed to be talking about undrip and undrop, but that's a synopsis of why this history is very important. Because I could tell you guys things, and then you guys will be scared. Well, what do we do about that? But there's something to be said about history. And it's not your fault, because it's designed. They use people, they use these things to get people down. I started off with cowboys and Indians coming together in unity. I started off when I came to the Six Nations, or not Six Nations, but Treaty Six Nation. And I talked to some elders, and they said, I have to start using the most sacred teaching. That's the Thunderbird symbol. People don't know what the Thunderbird is. They just think it's a bird in the sky because of folklore. It's the Native American swastika. I'm not here to manipulate. I would rather just let you guys know what the hell it is, so that way you guys can crucify me after. Whatever. Right? So, we believe in the 7 grandfather teachings. In the East Coast is the 7 grandmother teachings, but over here is the 7 grandfather teachings. The 7 grandfather teachings are in the sky. And those are the 7 stars, and that is where the Big Dipper lies. Every season, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. You put that on the ground, guess what you get? You get a swastika. And that's the 7 grandfather teachings, and every single teaching reverts love, respect, honorability, all these things. You put them together, that's the spirit of truth. The spirit of truth. When I was told I was supposed to walk with this, you know how scared I was? Because I was indoctrinated in the school system too. I believed in World War II. My grandfather used to tell me, both sides have truths. Always remember that. Doesn't matter where you stand, both sides have truths. It's hard to hear that. Both sides have truths. Both sides have parents that love them, and they love their kids too. When you look at the whole aspect of things, it's still politics. It is still politics. And for some reason, we turn it into an emotional issue because emotions, racism, politics, division works for those elites. I'm not trying to put something in your head. I'm just trying to let you guys know a lot of people don't want to go there. But how far are you willing to go to save Canada if you can't even confront yourselves? At the end of the day, if you walk away today, you're still white, and they'll use that against you. I will not walk with a white person who cannot say white pride. There's nothing wrong with being proud of who you are. It's a damn beautiful thing. And don't let anybody tell you different. Because if they do, then you're worthless. If you walk away because you're scared of your skin, how the hell are you going to save Canada? How? They shamed us all my life, and I cut my braids. They shamed us to the point where I believed in white supremacy. At the end of the day, guess what they did? They destroyed you now. I had to sit there and be powerful in my own nature. I had to leave the reservation. I had to learn a lot of things. I got taught by an Italian boss, and he says, "You freaking little, red-skinned son of a bitch." He used to call me that. He used to tell me all these things. Hurt my feelings. Come here, Chief. Then one day I was crying about it because I always respected this guy. He says, "You know what? If you want to be a leader one day, you're going to have to realize, throw out your fucking emotions. I'm sorry. This is the real world. I respect you because of what you do. You're an honorable guy, not because of your skin color. But I want you to be strong. And if you're not strong enough to actually see what's going on here, you might as well get out, because it's hard. It's hard. It was hard for me. Not yet. I'm not done yet.
No.
But at the end of the day, guess what happened?
No. Come on, Michelle. No.
All the natives left you.
Come on. Just
That's
go.
totally fine, because I'm not here to stand up for my Native Americans or the white people. But I'm here to stand up
We have to help these people, guys. These people, we need to help them.
At the end of the day, like I said, I'm not here with a lot of Native Americans. I'm not here with a lot of white people. I'm here by myself. Because something is inside of me that needs to be said. Whether we like it or not, like my grandma used to say, it's going to hurt. The truth hurts. I know this is where it started.
That's completely true. The truth hurts, but we need to have the truth.
When I went against murder missing indigenous women on my own page, because I said that they were using this as sexualization for politics and all these other things, my own people called me a child trafficker. They destroyed my business. But I still love my Native Americans, because they have to tell the truth.
Yeah.
You have to.
They hate us because we tell
Do not
the
tell the
truth,
truth
guys.
in
Never
regard
forget
to
about this, okay?
civilization.
Turtle Island, exactly.
Ninja.
Okay, it's all about Turtle Island, saving Mother Earth, saving the 7 next generation down the road. That's who we are. That's what.
People have emotions. And in politics, the greatest retardation we'll ever have is emotions. Because they'll use you. They're using my Native Americans now as the chief of councils. I don't know of one chief that's actually standing up, because in 2020, February 20th of 2020, $4 billion have been sent out to 643 nations in order to instill the COVID-19 shot. What did they need to do? They needed to kill the elders. That's what they needed to do. Those elders are our libraries. Go to Cold Lake. There was 110 Native American elders there. There's 11 left. 11. What did they do in Iraq? The first thing that they bomb are those temples. They want us to be liberalized. They want us to have handouts, but there's none. They will use all this tax money, and then they'll blame us Native Americans again, because UNDRIP and UNDROP, when you put it together, it's actually a proxy war. And guess who takes over at the end of the day? The Métis Nation. Because remember I was telling you guys about the Indian Act? We are governed. Now you have the East Coast claiming Métis Nation. And they are not governed by the what? The Indian Act. Which means out of 1,200 nations, guess what happens? They become the most powerful nations. More powerful than Native American treaty nations. So what Bill C-53 is actually doing is this. It's giving Métis treaty status. Inuit treaty status. Nothing against an Inuit, but I'm going to tell you something. Inuit are not Native American at all. They're not. They're second nation.
First Nation, you take care of the land with the treaty and everything. And us Canadians, we need to put accountability on this system, on these 338 ministers who are corrupt, who plays with our life, who destroys our life.
Canada, Denmark, Russia, Greenland, all the Arctic Circle. How can they be Métis? How can they be? It's because Bill C-53 will give, let's say, this little block right here, Inuit in Canada, 1/3. In the middle, well, let's say on this side over here, Native Americans, the treaty land. And right here is the Métis. Remember what I said, in order for you to be Métis, you could be both sides. You see? Both sides. That's the government's definition. Why I say this is because the Land Stewardship Acts, when it comes down to Bill C-53, they also have to have treaty status. So if they have treaty from the East Coast all the way over there, you could be from Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, say you're Métis, and then you come all the way to BC, where 93% of this land is unceded. So now, those Métis nations are going to come take this. Because in order to have treaty, it has to be land acquisitions. Because treaty is land. Hopefully you guys are seeing the picture that I'm trying to say. So what happens is, those liberalized white people, I'm not saying white people, I'm saying, liberalized people are going to use that to come over here and say, well, I gotta make a nation here. I'm going to steal your land, and your land, and your land. If I can't, then we're going to have governance around it. But did you realize the 27 Land Stewardship Act has everything to do with policy and ponds right around water, irrigation, whales, divorce, all these things, where it just slowly squishes your neck to the point where you might as well just sell out because you can't do nothing here. That's how the policy works. And now Métis are going to go over there and claim that territory. And not only that, the GMOs, in case one seed goes on your land, you might as well burn your crops because you can't fight, Monsanto's, whatever the hell they call themselves. You can't. They're too big. So instead of that, the water, irrigation and everything, they will stop that and they'll say something. Now, if they find one salamander that's endangered in your land, or if they plant trees, let's plant some trees on your lot. If they do that, it's endangered. You can't plant no more. You see what they're doing? They're using our native blood in policy in the guise of carbon. It's bullshit.
In Calgary, somewhere, I'm not too sure where it is, but it could be in BC, but I think it's in Calgary, in Alberta, sorry.
And I like to say, the real Native Americans understand this. You are now Nihiao. Nihiao does not mean Native American. Nihiao from Cree means people like us. Moniao means white person, but in real truth, it means people not like us. Now you guys are going to be like us. In order to save this land, you have to look and see. We got rights that you guys don't have, and you guys got voices that we don't have. That means we have to come together. Because I say nationalism. I say this white man system right here, they want to put you in there so they can segregate you guys, so that way you guys stay off the land. And last year, March, what did Biden put into his thing? That every new vehicle, as of the next year, this year, has to have a cutoff switch. Why do you think they have a cutoff switch? Control. And if you leave that jurisdiction after a while, people say, oh, that's bullshit, Adrien. Give it time, because we always, we trusted the government all this time.
I think so too. I think it's BC. I think when he started, he said BC, but
this
you
information.
can tell it after.
This is why I'm here. This is why I'm here to tell you about what's really going on. I urge you guys to look at the 27 Land Stewardship Acts. Your municipalities and all these third world, these third contractors don't give two shits about you. They don't. They're going to say that they're here for the land to help. Oh, fire. What happened in the East Coast? They used the Native Americans to buy out the lobster industry just so they could kill that economical bullcrap over there. Now over here, the fishing industry, the Native Americans are going to use that to buy it off now. Now what's happening here with all these trees, environment, in case there's a fire. And if you guys decide to go stop it, you guys will go to jail. You see what I'm trying to paint for you guys? Pierre Poilievre is doing the same thing in BC here. He's giving the Native Americans a 50-cent handshake. You know what that means? It means that instead of the Native Americans going to Ottawa to get their taxes, that we can collect it ourselves. But when did you ever realize or know that the Canadian government will ever just give them that power? They never did. So the truth is, what are they really trying to do? You too. So what are they really trying to do? They're trying to make municipalities within the reservation system, because when money comes involved with the sovereign nations, that means half of that power will go to the natives. But did you ever realize that the government, has they ever given power 100% to the natives? No. Never ever happened. So what they're trying to do with all this nation here, with this treaty nation here, or whatever these people, is that they want to take over Native American land. And Wet'suwet'en just last year got served from the king that they don't own their land anymore. So they're after everybody. They're after the farmers. They're after you. And we all need to somehow come together, and we have to have uncomfortable discussions and destroy racism.
Amen. That's right.
That's how it is. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't know if there's any kind of questions you guys have to ask at all. But I'm all open to ears because, like, I've been doing this for a while. I've been on many different communities. And I'm not shy to even talk to my Native Americans, but all the time, every time I go to Native American lands, the chief accountants kick me out. Well, it's because they're getting paid. And that's the truth. And I'm not against my people because I want them to learn. They're the ones that are supposed to be here. The chiefs are supposed to be here. I'm almost ashamed. But today, I'm like to announce that Bobby Cameron is going against the Indian Act to free us. And hopefully that we can actually look at nationalism. Yay! That's the way I look at it, is trying to. So that's all I wanted to say. If there's any kind of questions at all, I know it's going to be raining here. My cue.
Mother Nature held out. Like we asked.
There we go. Mother Nature held out.
And she thundered.
It's a corporation.
You only really have to people are going around begging to
It's so true. Yep. What they say in that even that too, the dollars. Yeah, but the money, it says, all money does not belong to you guys. I want you guys to understand that. Money used to be a gold standard a long time ago, but after a while, it even says, what do you call, the property of Canada. And if you guys burnt $1,000 right here, right now, or all you guys put your money in there, it's a federal offense. Yep. Well, there you go, and that used to be a thing, but here's the thing, why they're starting to change policy, just like every single thing, and so that way, just like when they taken the CERB, they actually allowed people, the government, to go with your bank accounts when it used to be illegal. Now, this is how the first stepping stone to actually becoming credit system, monetary credit, Yeah. Yep. That's so true when it comes down to especially when it comes down to your birth certificates. Yeah. Yep. Anybody else have anything to say?
Can I just give you a hug?
Sure. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. Well, thank you guys very much for having me here. It was a great pleasure and honor. And I think it's my cue here.
Yeah.
if you have some question, maybe you can type it, and she can maybe pass the telephone so Adrien can answer the question of the people on this slide.
They're all paid. Like I said, every single achievement council was designed. It was designed to a 6-peer or 8-peer system. That's what it's designed. And if it doesn't go that way, then you get re-elected every 4 years. It used to be hereditary. Nobody wanted to be a chief because that means you had to love. But what happens is you have a good chief, a bad chief, a good chief, a bad chief. And this is designed, just like FSI and Federation of Saskatchewan Indian Nations. What happens is you had 72 bands. And as soon as 1982 came, and Canada has basically its independence, which is bullshit, they made that organization because it's easier to control one chief than 72. You see how they push that power down to one? That's what they do. So the same with AFN and all these other things. So if you don't play the game, they get somebody else. Just like any other of these mayors, municipal people, they don't work for you, they work for the government. Just like no principal works for the children, he only works for the education board to keep people in line. Yeah. That's how it works. Hi. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that, but thank you guys very much for coming here.
Thank you, Adrien. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Keep in touch.
Yeah.
Help each other.
Great job, Adrien.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Do the same work at Unify, and I feel like I was meant to meet you. So, however I can help, let me know.
Well, thank you.
I followed you on Instagram, so I could message you there.
You message me there or just on TikTok.
Okay, I'm not on there.
You're not on TikTok?
No, but I'm
you know
on
what?
Instagram.
You guys should do that. Because you guys are doing your little thing here. Yeah. It's probably the most popular app right now on social media, right?
Oh, TikTok. I know, it is big. I was going to get my nephew to make me one because I tried to be on there and I didn't like it.
So, you want to say your band?
Oh, Shannon Matter and the Electric Comets. Thank you, Adrien.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you guys very much for joining me. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Thank you very much. We love what you
Thank
did.
you.
Maybe there's something you have some really good points. People have to come together. We really got to understand who we are, the relationship that we have.
We're all the same. And they lie to everybody. And at the end of the day, it's happening to this side. They're getting the largest privatized group that's going to lose land. And you realize that Bill Gates and all of them are buying land because that's what they want. And they want to make certain that water, those pipelines actually are putting it through water. That they stopped here is water. That's why last year they had 18 derailments. And they all poison water. They need to make it climate change or it's a bullshit. They decided it themselves so they can have a narrative. It's just like, I'll give you an example. A computer, right? And then they give you the virus and then they give you the antivirus for the computer, which is bullshit. That's exactly
a computer program that they know is going to be redundant in 2 years. And everything like that. But I think we all know what's wrong.
Yeah.
But we're all being bought out.
Yeah.
With offering us deals.
So true.
Kind of deal like we're going to give you a break in the tax. We're going to give you extra.
As long as you fit their narrative.
Yes.
Their narrative has to go because they have a path forward that they want. And at the end of the day, they want this country because this country is the most richest country on natural resources alone. Dubai actually pays its people quite well to be there. And over here, we're third world conditions. And yet we live first. We try to live first class because we have so much pride.
Well, I don't know how to fight this segregation that they create. That's a challenge.
We just have to keep coming together.
Yeah.
Even if we don't like it, we just have to, because that's the only thing that they're betting on. They beat it so long with racism and all the way down the line that they have their cards until somebody actually stands up and says, "Well, we know your fucking game." Once we know the game, we know how to play it. That's where you go. That's why I have nationalism or whatever, because we have to have nationalism. Thank you. Okay, Matt, I'm gonna have to let you go. Thank you very much for everything, Matt.
Yeah, you bet. I'm sure we'll pass across.
I don't know if he's gone yet. Anywho, have yourself a good day, guys. Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, 1 o'clock Saturday.